Okay, hello everybody. Welcome to our second edition of Raptor Time. I'm gonna let some more people in here. Thanks everybody for joining. Today's session is going to focus on importing transcripts into the Banner student system. So I'm going to do a general overview of, let's go ahead and let some more people in here. Thank you. Thanks for joining. And be sure and enter any questions into the chat area, and we'll get to as much as we can cover in 30 minutes. Thanks everyone. I think we hopefully do have a number of Banner schools on joining as well as PeopleSoft schools or other student systems. And so we're going to do a general overview of what Raptor is, and then we're going to focus specifically on integrating Raptor with Banner. Let's go ahead and get started here. So what is Raptor? Raptor is a tool for digitally importing transcripts. So student transcripts, typically these are high school or college transcripts being sent to an admissions department or to a registrar's office. And you want to import that data. What classes did the student take? What grades did they have? You want to import that into your student system so that you can then serve the student, whether you're admitting the student, whether you're granting transfer credit. You need to be able to process that incoming transcript. And so what makes Raptor different from other tools on the market that will digitally import transcripts? One is Raptor is cloud-based. So that means that it's a very rapid implementation. You just need to, you don't have to install software in your student system. We're going to actually just connect Raptor to your system and you're ready to start processing transcripts. And then the other key thing that makes Raptor different and very quick to install and utilize is that the algorithms are tuned for transcripts. So you don't have to do any configuration, you don't have to do any mapping. We've already done all that because we're focused specifically on transcripts. Yes, a question about the different types of transcripts that, so one of the things that we've done, Raptor's been live for almost 2 years now at different schools. And by now Raptor has processed over 700 different transcripts and from all 50 states and from 10 foreign countries. And so it gives you a sense that the algorithms in Raptor are very robust at reading all kinds of different variations of transcripts. We'll get to in more detail later if you have transcripts that are a little different and how Raptor can be taught to read different variations of transcripts. Yeah, that's a great question because we all know that transcripts have a lot of different formats, but we've already tuned the logic for those different formats. Let's get into a demo here, and I'm gonna start off in my PeopleSoft environment. This is a look here at what Raptor actually looks like from a user perspective. And you can see we have a little chat window down here where you can contact us directly if you're having any questions. And then the Raptor interface is as simple as this, right? What is the transcript on the left? And then what is the coursework that we've pulled off of the transcript? So let me close Raptor now, and we'll start back in my PeopleSoft system. So I'm going to demonstrate this in PeopleSoft, but then we're going to talk about how to integrate this with Banner. All we really need to get started here is a student and a school. So let's just pick any student. My student is, okay, and then we're going to pick a school. So I've received a transcript for my student who is Henry, and he's transferring from Swarthmore. He's sending me credits he took at Swarthmore College. And here's where Raptor comes into play. Again, I'm in PeopleSoft, but we'll show you how this works in Banner as well. Once I'm inside Raptor, I'm just going to select a transcript. And you can see now the Raptor default logic is going to handle all these different kinds of transcripts. So I'm just going to click Process File. And when I click Process File, that's where the brain of Raptor, or the algorithm, comes into play. And we have read off of the transcript for you. We've read the term, the year, the subject, and grades. And now I can push this back to my PeopleSoft. So I can push this button, and we have now loaded 15 courses. You can see these 15 courses here off the transcript into your student system. We've saved you a lot of time by doing that. So let's, having done that quick demonstration, let's get back to my slides here. And yes, the question there was, let me go back to the interface there. The question is, can you edit the data before you push it? Yes, so that's a really good question here. You can insert rows. You know, let's say there's a title that's wrong here, Mathematics 2 or something, right? You can edit this grid in any way you need to. You can delete things. You'll do that before you push it back to your student system. Of course, once it goes to your student system, in this case, back to my PeopleSoft, I can also edit it here if I need to make any changes to your grades or anything else. Right, great question. Why should you run Raptor? Why should your school run Raptor? I mean, there's all kinds of reasons here. Speed of student service and quality of student service should be #1 reason, right? When we've talked to schools that have transcripts, receive so many transcripts, thousands of transcripts, that they have a backlog, right? Because they're manually entering these, and they're backlogged months. So students, are being underserved because they sometimes don't even know whether you've received their transcript. They don't know what credit you're going to give them for that, or if it meets your admissions criteria. And so the high touch of student service is that when you have staff that are not sitting there entering transcripts, they can be of more service directly to students and providing that human judgment that is really why the value added that humans bring, not just hand entering data. Financial return on investment. So let's look at some analyses that we've done. I'm going to jump over to our website here. So this is smartpandatools.com. If you want to learn more about all of our different tools, I'm on the transfer credit page here. But we've done some analysis. I'm going to go back to our homepage. This is what we call our transfer cost map. So if I click this, you can see here, this is the annual cost nationwide in the United States of hand entering transcripts, $34 million a year. You just do the math. We talk about how we got these numbers, but you just do the math state by state or even nationwide, right? Texas spent at least $2.7 million last year just hand entering transcripts. That's paying people to sit there and hand enter data. So there's a huge, let's just go back to our homepage here. There's a huge return on investment in financially in adopting Raptor. And we'll talk more about the money aspect of things. Let's go back to our slides here. And then why should I run a transcript importer? Back to my website here. We have a self-assessment on our website, and I'd encourage you to come check this out. If you come to our website and you click on transfer credit, and then you'll see self-assessment here. And this is these 5 questions here call out why transcript processing matters, right? Even all the way from the point of recruiting to admissions to onboarding. Can the public easily see which courses you will accept? Right, so we're talking about transfer credit here. but also transcripts. When an applicant sends you a transcript, how quickly do you respond, right? Does it take you 3 months to respond, to acknowledge that you got it and to process it? Then you're probably losing applicants. Well, how about the onboarding and the financial aid processing and enrollment process? When it's time to enroll, do financial aid advisors and academic advisors and students and departments know what credit you have granted to students, right? If it's taking a long time for you to process transcripts, then there's choke points, whether it be enrollment, whether it be prerequisite checking, whether it be financial aid. All these campus processes are hindered because you've not even processed the transcript yet. All right, let's go back to our slides here. Oh, question is, how does financial aid? Yeah, can you talk more to financial aid? Yes. So, I'm not a financial aid expert, I'll tell you that, but I know that they look at a lot of student records data. They need to know how many credits the student has. Is the student coming in as a freshman? Is the student coming in as a sophomore? Do they already have a number of credits that you're granting them, because they have time to degree calculations that they have to follow? And then the enrollment of the students is very important in financial aid. If a student's enrolling in things that they don't meet the prereqs, then they're going to be dropped out of that. And then their financial aid award and their packaging cannot be accurate because their enrollments are not accurate. So there's a domino effect of why financial aid cares about timely processing on the transcript and on the transfer credit. Who runs Raptor? So I've already showed you an introduction to our website. But let me go back to the home page, and we'll see the Raptor tool I'm showing you here is not vaporware. It's not new software in this sense. It's out there running at large institutions for a couple of years now. We're running at University of Miami. We're in the University of Puget Sound. Let's see who else we have here. University of Houston, University of Florida. Just went live with Salisbury, University of Maryland, Florida A&M. So that the tools that I'm showing you today have been, as I said, out there for a couple of years. By now we've processed, 10,000 transcripts. We had a school last month that in 1 month, the school used Raptor to process 3,000 transcripts. So this gives you a sense of how robust it is, who uses Raptor. But also today, especially we're focusing on Banner. We want to be sys agnostic, meaning because Raptor is in the cloud, we can connect to PeopleSoft, we connect to Banner. So we're going to show you this. How can you run Raptor, right? This gets into the integration point of we can run with APIs, with web services, which we provide to you. We have an API. So if you're not technical, this means that you're just simply posting a transcript over the internet, right? On a secure manner. You're posting a transcript to Raptor and it's feeding back to you what is the digital content of that transcript. So we can also run Raptor in a batch mode. That's the SFTP option. Yeah, one of the questions was, does it always take a human being to process the transcript? And so what batch mode, what we're calling the SFTP option, can run in batch, right? So you can have your transcripts in a folder on your network, right? And Raptor is just going to be processing those nightly or hourly and pushing those into your student system. And so we've tried to enable all these different modes, human assisted mode, but also a automated mode for you to process transcripts. Question is here, how often does Raptor process transcripts? Yeah, that's going to be in your control, right? So if you want to process transcripts every hour, every night, twice a day, that's going to be in the configuration of your particular version of Raptor. What's the cost to implement Raptor? And so in the time, So we're trying, one of the things we're trying to argue is that it makes Raptor markedly different, significantly different, is the ease and speed of implementation and also the cost. We're probably 20% or even less than the cost of similar other transcript processing tools. OCR or transcript tools, PDF and image processing tools typically cost, more than $100,000, sometimes several $100,000, as well as months of time to install and implement. So we've taken a very different approach that is quick in time and also much less expensive for you to install and operate. Question here in the chat is, what are the tasks of implementing Raptor? Really, once we have a signed contract with you, which can happen very quickly, we're going to send you any integrations that you need to install. As I said, since Raptor is in the cloud, you're not installing actual software. You're just opening the connectivity between your student system and Raptor. And whether that be opening up access to an SFTP folder, whether it be an API firewall that we're opening. And so the connectivity or the implementation task is really just about establishing that connectivity, which we'll provide to you, and then granting the security and your business process to start using Raptor. That's why we can implement Raptor in a couple of weeks, few weeks, not a 6 month or a year-long implementation. Okay, but I've kind of rushed through several things because I want to get to the discussion of Raptor. So we went live with our first Banner school, university, running Raptor with Banner. So this is a huge milestone for us, a huge milestone for Raptor. We always knew this was possible, but we didn't have a school that, a Banner school that we could implement this with. So we've got a school, they're live. I'm still working with their, team to where a point we'll be making a public announcement about this. For now, what's amazing about this is that we worked out the Banner piece of it. Raptor was already there, but we worked out the Banner piece of it and so let's show you how we do that. Number one difference is that in your Raptor screen here, right, we're going to know that you are not a PeopleSoft school. We're going to know that you are a Banner school. So at the top of this button here, instead of saying push to PeopleSoft, it's going to say push to Banner. And here's a screenshot here of, well, let's see, here we go, push to Banner, right? So that's the number one difference, is we're going to know that you're a Banner school. But otherwise, the interface, right, the logic, the transcripts are not different. So the way we're processing all that and the algorithms we're using are the same. Now, what happens when you click push to Banner is that we're going to write out an XML format. So instead of integrating back to PeopleSoft, like I showed you before, we're going to be pushing the data. When I say the data, I'm talking about the courses and grades that we've pulled off the transcript. We're going to be pushing these using an XML format back to your student system. And so this is where Banner already has, these are the particular Banner techniques that are delivered by Ellucian, right? And so there's an XML import called SHRPESI. That's the Banner process name. Have a screenshot here. This is going to just receive the XML file, the data that Raptor is sending back to you. It's just going to receive that data. So that's a delivered process. So all this is automated, right? The transcript is being read in an automated fashion. The XML is being passed back to you in an automated fashion. Banner is importing that using SHRPESI, automatically importing that. So we're saving you a lot of manual time here. Then these are just screens inside Banner, right? We're going to use the SHAEDIS screen, have some screenshots here, and you're just simply going to match up which student is that transcript for. right? And then you can see some screenshots here. Once you've confirmed which student that's for, John Doe from, right, just like I showed you in PeopleSoft, I had to know who that student is. Once you've identified the student, then Banner is going to know that it has a transcript, and it's going to pull that in, and then it's going to load that into a screen shown here, SHA-Trans, SHA-TRNS. It's going to pull in, so you can see SHA-TRNS screen has the subject. It has the subject, the catalog, the units, the grades, right? The information that that Raptor pushed back to you is going to be imported into your SHA-Trans screen here. And so essentially then we have saved you all the manual effort, and you're just grabbing that data. And then the transcript itself, right, the actual raw PDF or image is stored in wherever you're going to store that, on your local system network someplace. You're going to store it in an imaging system. And so you still have the raw transcript, but we've digitized now and into the SHA-Trans screen, the actual coursework. Question in the chat about the formats of transcripts that Raptor will accept. And yeah, as you could see in the Raptor screenshot here, we will accept PDF transcripts, JPEG image, PNG image, and then you can also even just paste a screenshot into Raptor. Let's just show you a different example of a kind of a transcript that Raptor can process, just so you see the variations in these. I like to grab this one from, this is a very different, like this is the way transcripts look, right? Heavy watermark, 2 columns of data, maybe multicolored data, but we're just gonna let Raptor process this. Right, and so Raptor lifted 35 courses off of this transcript. Looks like we have a false row here. That's not a course. We'll have to do very minimal cleanup here. Right? Think how much time it would take you to enter 35, to hand enter these 35 courses into your system. You might spend half an hour hand entering, and then you're probably going to make mistakes and have to go back and double check. And so you can see how rapidly we've accelerated that. So back to the Banner process. Oh yes, and okay, yes, a question about this screen here. Why do we have to, can we automate the matching to the student? And yes, the answer is yes. The Banner school that we are live with now has done a slight bit of custom work in their Banner. So I'm told, in order to even further automate matching to the student. So this step on the SHA-EDIS screen. And so I think that, if you're a Banner school and you want to move forward with this integration, I think we can, we'll try to learn something from from the automation that this other Banner school did. And we'll try to help you even further automate this step. One thing we try to do is, as we work with all these different schools, is apply some learning, some knowledge gains, efficiency gains from one school's doing something. Let's try to get other schools to benefit from that same innovation. So yeah, we're going to try to automate as much as it's humanly possible, or even possible to automate. The final step here, as we wind down on our time, is, and then you're going to move forward to the transfer evaluation, which is SHA TAEQ, right? The final step is articulating that credit. And then, so you've moved your student service so far ahead because you've got the transcript in and you're ready to grant credit to the student. So that's really the core of what I wanted to show you today in this episode of Raptor Time, is to announce that we're no longer only in PeopleSoft. We can integrate with Banner. We are also integrating with as we speak, we're integrating with a homegrown SIS. And then we definitely, with the APIs and other techniques we showed you, we're very eager to, if you're a DataTel colleague school, please let us know. We'd love to integrate with you. And also campus management, Ginzabar, any of these student systems, let us know, because we have a lot of techniques we can integrate with you. Last thing I wanted to show you before we stop here is EDI or XML. And so can Raptor integrate, if you're receiving transcripts already in the TS-130 or the EDI format in the state of California, for example, where I live, there's something called eTrans, which is a digital state system of digital transcripts coming from high schools or coming from community colleges. Many states, I think Nevada, I think Florida, Texas, have state systems. I think Ohio maybe, where they're already sending some digital records around. And yes, Raptor can handle these as well, because oftentimes the problem is getting these into your student system. So when you receive a TS-130, you receive a PESC XML format, Raptor can also read or intake this format as well. And because the end result is the same, right? We want to know what courses a student took, what grades they got, and we're going to push that into your student system. So whether that's coming EDI, XML, we can also push that in to PeopleSoft or push that into Banner. In that case, we are not only processing that data, but we're also producing a human readable version of that transcript, because when you receive the transcript by EDI or XML, right, sometimes there's no actual human readable PDF that's sent with that. And so we're going to transform that into what I'm showing you on the screen here is a PDF copy that we have, right? Here's the term, here's the course, here's the title, here's the grades, right? We have taken that EDI data or XML data and turned it into a PDF. So we can, Raptor is turning into kind of a Swiss Army knife multi-tool, handling transcripts no matter what format they're coming in. So let me, as we wind down on today, all right, okay, good question there. As we wind down, who can we contact for more information? So I'm going to refer you back to our website here. We have our contact information. Contact us. We'd love to do a demo for you, learn more about your own particular campus, and just go to the contact us form and send your information here. We'll receive that and we'll respond to you with and get in touch. So I want to go back to my point here, Raptor time. Thank you for joining today. If you are a Banner school or you're a PeopleSoft school, we'd love to show you how it integrates with your system, or if you're DataTel school, any of these other student systems. That's our big announcement for today, is that Raptor is now, even more flexible with the kinds of systems it can integrate with. If there's no more questions, I want to thank you for your time, and we'll close there. And again, thank you for your time.